new golf shaft, and I am excited about this one. Stay tuned and we will talk to you about a new offering from the ACCRA golf shaft line. Welcome back to the McGolf Shop. Jim McCleary here, and this is the McGolf channel where we talk about golf club repairs, golf club reviews, or this is a golf shaft, and golf club fittings, all so your scores can go low. Like, subscribe, hit that stuff across the bottom so this information gets out to the YouTube universe. Alrighty, so Accra. Accra has been a golf shaft supplier to custom club builders for as long as I can remember. I have basically their entire line sitting up on my wall. Why? Because it's good. All right. They also have what I call the family of shafts, meaning if you get a driver shaft and you just really love this thing, you will find a corresponding fairway wood shaft and a corresponding hybrid shaft to fit the design of those particular heads. Because you go from a bigger driver that's lighter to a fairway wood that's a little bit heavier to a odd shaped hybrid that's even heavier still. So the shafts have to be designed a little bit differently in order for them to work the same as in one to the other. Get it? Good. So now what is the new golf shaft? The new golf shaft is called the Shogun. All right, the Shogun. And I really wanted to go get the Last Dragon and bring that guy out that goes the Shogun of Harlem. However, I couldn't figure out how to manipulate it out, but it just seemed appropriate. Anyway, so what is it? Well, if you go back and you look on True Temper's site or even on Accra's site, they're going to call it a premium golf shaft. Normally, premium is also means of cost. Now, truly, it's probably in their line. They have an I series, they have a GX series, and they'll have this series or the TZ series. The TZ series or the Shogun series will be the most costly of them all, but they are not out of sight like some other companies might be. That said, all right, so they have a blue, a green, and a red. All right, each one of them has significantly different profiles. However, let's talk about the commonality between them. Number one, they're made from a Acceleron MX graphite that comes out of Toray, Japan. Hence the made in Japan stuff. Okay, and it also deals with it's with a 5K technology. All right, a 5K technology. And so what does that mean? That means the stuff that's being used in this shaft is pretty good. All right. Now other classic and other shaft manufacturer I have also get their graphite from the Toray area, which means these guys are very skilled at providing this style of graphite. All right. So it also includes this 5K stabilization, meaning high modulus, high elasticity. Those tend to fight each other, but in this case, they're working together. And what does that do? Well, that helps get energy recovery. It helps minimize ovaling in order for the shaft to recover so that, number one, it works better and it also feels better. Okay. Now they also have the Tornado Material Stabilization Technology. What does that mean? Basically, it's a process in which you get this consistency that goes throughout the shaft. And so, of course, they're going to say this is a consistent taper, and when you have a consistent taper, that means your energy transfer goes through the shaft much easier, so it feels better. The Tornado Material Stabilization takes that to another level. Okay, it takes it to another level for feel. Okay, for feel. All right, so the three different kinds. We have the blue. All right, we have the blue. The blue is this guy. It's a nice matte, deep blue finish with the gold lettering on it, and there's some different. You see an Accra that's in a lighter blue that's right here. What is this one? This one is ones for guys looking for club head speed. The group at Accra will call this probably one of the most stable shafts. Why is that? Because it is also the lightest shafts that they're going to offer in the 40-gram caliber range. Now they won't go as high as like extra stiff or anything, but they have an M0, an M1, and M2 for sure. And these are the shafts that some of the long drive people are using and being very successful. And so you're a guy with a very high swing speed with a very flexible shaft, but because of the recovery rate, they're absolutely able to deliver the club head to the ball. And it's working out for them. So who's this really for? It is for a group that is looking for the swing speed, is, might be a hair aggressive. As you get older, your flexibility goes down, and you're looking to, you can really pull on one and still not have that heavy shaft. It used to be when you had an aggressive swing, you had to go with something heavier, maybe a little more flexible. Well, in this particular instance, that might just totally blow that concept out of the water. You'll have to try it, right? The idea here is go get fit. All right, next one. Next one is the green shaft. The green shaft, again, it's a neat little green. It's not a overbearing green by any shape of the imagination with the gold lettering again. And then you have a darker green on the back so you can see the Accra. So what's this one? This one has a softer butt profile and then a very extreme tip section, very extremely firm tip section. So basically it's softer here and it's very firm out here, and that's for people with smoother swing speeds that can deliver ball, and it gives you a little bit more oomph into it. Now, I particularly think I'm in this category, and I would really, really like this. The red is more of a maroon color with the gold and the darker red on some, it's almost black. Now this one is for those folks that are very, very, very aggressive. You would think this would be the long drive shaft of choice, but they like the blue instead. Now what this one is, it is firm all the way down from the butt to the tip, and it's for, again, the aggressive people. So what have they done in offerings? So at the lower end, the blue end, very light, very stable, will have the lighter flexes in them. The green hits the middle of the spectrum. They will start in the 50 to 70, I believe, and they go up in a myriad of flexes. And then in the red, it's going to be heavier at the 60 on up, and you're going to see the taller flexes in them, okay? So that's what their offerings are. Now, are they all that in a bag of chips? Let's go find out. Okay, new shaft in town. It is the Shogun line from Accra, which is going to be what I would call their exotic shaft line, or True Temper's elite line, whatever you want to call that. So there's two different manufacturing methods used in it. One was the 5-axis is the way that it's being made, and then there's another process to basically make it so that there is no spine. There's a technical term for it, but it escapes me right at this particular moment in time, so that you could orient this thing any way you want and the performance should be the same. So what you're getting in here is a high quality graphite, a high quality precision made graphite shaft. We always talk about spines, we always talk about hard sides, we talk about where the label should go in this case, but in this particular case it really should not matter. Okay, so what we've got here is I've got it under Bob. Bob came and tested some for me, and he hit it. And what really spurred me onto this was I gave him the blue shaft, which is supposed to be for the to get you the highest ball speed. So it's a very, very soft shaft, but very, very low torque in the same consideration. And that's basically the whip style. The green is a soft in the butt, very firm in the tip. I tend to gravitate towards those, and it is supposed to be for that kind of player that wants to feel the club coming around. And then the red is more like what they would say is their RPG shaft, and is what I will say is very brutally stiff all the way up and down the shaft. Very stiff in the butt, but it's a little softer. The energy lets go a little easier. However, in this particular model, in comparison to the RPG, it should feel a lot better, okay? We're going to talk about that here in just a second. So I want to show you what we did. The ones that have L's are mine. All right, I went up there because what we did is, I'm just going to show you really quick. Bob came in here and hit, and what we did is we went with the Shogun Blue, which is the one you see where the cursor's at right now. Threw it out there pretty decent, hit it okay. And then I gave him the green, and it did not work for him. His swing is not that way. But then I turned around and I loaded him up with a 70-gram X-Flex type shaft, and he just started throwing it way out there. And spin came down. He went where he wanted to go, and I was like, why is that working? So with that question in mind, I decided I would try it myself. So here's how this story goes. So I tried the blue, which you see is a 42, and an M2, which is an A-Flex. I was going to go with M0 just to see. Barely could get it up in the air, but it rolled out. Look at that. 40-plus yards because the spin rate was just crazy low. Got it down the middle, and we'll see where they land. You'll see that in a moment. Then I went and got the Shogun Green, and I bet at 52 and a regular flex. All of a sudden, it's flying literally, 15 plus yards longer, and I'm rolling out there another 8 yards, but I'm pulling it. I'm hitting it well, still getting it out there, and as you can see, actually I'm coming on the up, which is typically not me. Then I went to the Shogun Red, and all of a sudden, and this is a 72 gram X-Flex, and all of a sudden I'm lighting it up. I'm another 6 yards longer there, and I'm another 6 yards longer there. I'm straighter, hitting it much better. The spin rate's just slightly less than before, and it's way out there. Now again, I'm pulling it to the right, but the numbers I was getting off of it were things I haven't seen for a couple of years in the 270, 280 range. That's a big hit for me. Now keep in mind, I'm using a Wilson Dynapower TI head, and it's not known for being a big distance model, but all of a sudden it's working for me. So let's keep that one in mind. All right, so I went back and I thought, well, I like the green shaft profile. Let's try that in that 72 gram M5, that X-Flex, just to see what would happen. Sure enough, I'm only 4 yards behind it, but I'm way straighter, hitting it better. So let's take a look at what we see here. So we go over to the shot plot, and here's the green shaft. Now these are 5 shots compared to the normal 3 that I have, because I wanted to get a little bit better feeling. So if you look, most of them are to the right, and I let one bleed off to the left. Okay, so 264, 274, 268, 270, 270. So these are some pretty significantly cool shots, right? So here's the red. What's the red look like? Reds are definitely all pulls going that direction. And, I'm pulling hard there. So there's a 260, 269, 280, 274, 278. So basically what's happened is the green is a little bit longer because I clobbered a couple, but the green is far more consistent for me. All right, let's go to the green, the actual green with the regular flex shaft. And it's, a couple go pretty good. You see a preponderance of them right here, but I just yanked one pretty hard. And 240, 260, which is what I've been hitting. There's 220. These are rolling out because the spin has come down incredible amount with this club, with this shaft. All right, and the last one is the blue, and the blue didn't get very high. It didn't get very much carry because the doggone thing didn't get very high in the air. If you look at that, look at them. Just hitting bullets. They're coming down and they're running like a scalded dog. Say for this one right, not that one, but maybe that one. There we go. Oh, I'm hitting the same one. There we go, the second shot. And of course, look at that one, 245, 270. It's just hitting very, very, very well. All right, so those are what it looks like there, but let's look at how they land. All right, so here's a Shogun Blue, and I hit one out. That was that 240 shot. I'm in the middle of the fairway. I just couldn't get it up in the air. I get this thing up in the air, and it's really easy to manipulate. Here's the green, couple up in here, and there's that one I showed you I really, really pulled. Now here's the red. I wanted to make sure. I hit a couple really big ones, and I went back and tested some more. So I got 5 shots, and with 230 being the lowest, 250 being the highest. But if you cut it down the middle, it's a 240 club, and I was out at 270. Not bad, right? That's a pretty decent little pattern. A little pulley, but that's pretty much my game. Now, I go to the green. All of a sudden, I'm a little bit better. In fact, I'm a lot a bit better. I'm in the middle of the fairway. So carrying it in that 240 range yet again, and then going out to 270. Now these are numbers I haven't seen for a while for me. Confidence in the driver, just not swinging good, that kind of thing. And all of a sudden, I'm finding the middle of the fairway. So that has just been an absolute shocker, right? An absolute shocker in what's been going on. So just a real quick review, basically, 217, 258, 236, 266, 239, 268, and then all of a sudden 242, 272. Now those are averages, but look how well I was hitting this. The ball was just coming off, and now I'm using all the same golf balls, the same numbers, in order so that I had a same-to-same comparison. So I got to tell you, based on the club looks good, the shaft looks good, And it's just exactly what they said. I did some measuring and on them, and we can talk about that next. So let's go back. So we took them out. This is the Shogun. This is the conclusions for the Shogun. So does the Shogun live up to the hype that is all that it is? Yeah, it does. It is extra great material from Toray, Japan. That is where we see a lot of different other shaft manufacturers getting high quality upper tier shafts being made. The technology, we have the Acceleron, we have the 5K matrix in there, and the way that's being built. Plus, we also have the tornado system that is making this thing basically a spineless shaft. And the quality of the build is very, very, very good. Like I said, of all the ones that I've done, I've only found one with an issue, and it was minor at best. And and again, the paint job, right? The paint job is very cool. The matte finish in the maroon red, or we'll call it forest light green, and then the blue. The blue is really cool, like a navy or a royal blue. And then all with the gold lettering. They all look really nice. They all perform very well. They all feel fantastic. And honestly, for an elite or premium shaft, in comparison to some others that are out there, I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised when you go to see the price tag on this thing. All right, so again, go get fit. Make sure you get the shaft that fits you and it fits your equipment, and always you'll have a good time, and let's see your scores go low.